Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the mid-June 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Scorpio. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do also recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post videos in the future. But that being said, let's go ahead and get started. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close. In column number 2, we're going to take a general look at the remainder of June. We're also going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing crystal of the month, and a healing note for you. Let's see here, pulling a summary card again of what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks. We have the card Listen. This is a really good card. This is like an indicator, though, typically, Scorpio, that you've been doing more listening than talking, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. There was something that you needed to hear these last few weeks, but it was heard. Let's clarify, though, and see what other messages we have here. The first card we have is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is very reliable, very hardworking, very patient. This is oftentimes a reminder to be hardworking and remain patient, but this is just like an indicator that you have been chipping away at something, is the feeling that I'm getting here, Scorpio. The next card that we have is the Ten of Cups. The Nine of Cups. I'm like one letter off, one number off on everything here today. This is the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a card of wishes coming true. This is material abundance. This is a card of good health. So this is like saying these things that you've been working hard for, they're coming true. They're starting to come to fruition these last few weeks for you, which is really neat to see, Scorpio. You've been working hard at this, and now it's like you're starting to see the results of your hard work. The thing with the Nine of Cups, too, this is like anything that you want, really, truly. This is wishes coming true, so there's nothing too big or too challenging to come true with the Nine of Cups. Also a good card for money and a good card for health, so I like to see those two things as well. The next card that we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card of having lots and lots going on. It does feel like it's been a busy last few weeks for you. If you look at the Seven of Cups, there's something different in each of these seven cups. So again, very busy. This could also be like a card of having a lot of different choices or having lots of different options. And sometimes it can be challenging to commit to something just because there's so much going on or you have so many options. So you could have been kind of feeling either that really busy or not being ready to fully commit to something just because there seem to be so many other paths or options available. Let's take a look, though, and clarify this row. The first clarifier we have is the Tower card. The Tower card is a card of unwanted change. And the way that I typically explain this, Scorpio, is like you were hoping A, B, C was going to happen, but D, E, F happened instead. So in addition to the fact that you've been patient with that Knight of Pentacles, you've been working hard with that Knight of Pentacles, this is kind of like validating that things didn't go the way that you had planned. Things didn't work out exactly the way you would hope for. It seems like it's still working out great, but this is like maybe like reflection or acknowledgement of possibly some of the challenges. Or again, like this is just indicating, yeah, it didn't go as planned, but things are still going well for you. This is actually the Ten of Cups now, Scorpio. For those of you that have listened to my readings in the past, you know the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. It's really the card of everything. We have a nice full rainbow of cups here. We have a happy couple, kids playing, the grass is green, there's water running, there's a house in the background. This is again that card of everything. So it's family, contentment, total love, and support. So you're in a really, really wonderful place these last few weeks between that 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups. Really amazing pairing, but it's like, again, everything you could wish for with the 9 of Cups has come true. The 10 of Cups is like this place of bliss, this place of perfect, having everything you could want and need. Now at the bottom we have the Ace of Wands. Anytime we have an Ace card, this is a card of newness. With the case of the Ace of Wands, this is typically new project, new inspiration, new urge to create. It feels like, again, there was some sort of new opportunity that you were hesitant to commit to just because there seemed to be so many other opportunities. But lots of different paths isn't a good thing. It's good to explore your opportunities, and we like to have options there. Now let's take a look at our next column though, which is again what's going to happen through the end of June. So just kind of a general look at June. We have the card Center. This is a good reminder to make sure that you're staying centered, you're staying balanced. Meditation is also a big thing that comes through with the card of being centered. So you may finding yourself wanting to do yoga or do some meditation, or really just like even take some quiet time for yourself. But stay connected, stay mindful, stay present, stay centered these next few weeks, which is good. Good card to have there for you. But let's see what messages I can provide you underneath this, Scorpio. The first card that we have is the Judgment card. Anytime we have the Judgment card, Scorpio, this is a card that's favorable for you. This is a card of clarity, possibly a card of making a final decision. So for some of you that are still in this place of having lots of options, lots of new opportunities with that Ace of Wands and you didn't decide, I would say that there's going to be a decision coming for you now coming into the end of June, which is good. Maybe you've been able to weigh out your options and decide what direction you want to go. But definitely clarity and decision making come with that Judgment card. The next card that we have is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands, point blank, very clearly means success. So this is a card of victory, award, recognition, good news, success. So definitely be expecting this success, this recognition, this victory, this award, this good news going into the end of June. So that's exciting to see as well. And on the bottom here, we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups, again, anytime we have an Ace card, is a card of newness. But with the Ace of Cups, this is typically baby, relationship, proposal, or marriage. So some good energy movement on the love front for you as well. Let's clarify and see what messages we have here. The first clarifier we have is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords, if you look at this card, both the horse and rider are moving very quickly here. And this indicates like a really fast-paced lifestyle change. So this clarity or this decision that needs to happen is likely going to come very quickly. The more centered you can be, the more connected, present, mindful you are, it's going to help kind of having to make a decision possibly in a very short timeline. So just to be aware that this clarity and this decision are coming quite fast with that Knight of Swords. The next card we have is the Four of Wands. Really need to see this because you have two celebratory success cards on top of each other. The Four of Wands also being a celebration card. So success, good news, recognition, award, to the point where it will even be celebrated, Scorpio. Really neat, love to see that there. And then at the bottom here we have the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of withdrawing, retreating, moving on. And with interesting things, so if you look at the Eight of Cups, these cups are stacked pretty nicely. It looks good. And oftentimes this is about going from good to even better. So possibly that even better would be that proposal or that engagement or that marriage or starting that family. So this is kind of like that advancement, that leveling up, that moving from good to even better. Possibly this is too, if you're single and looking for a relationship, it's leaving maybe some of the not very good relationships you've had in the past and now moving into a very good relationship. So really nice spread ending out June here. Let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to money. So job, career, finances, businesses you run, investments you have. Again, anything you think when you think money. The first card that we have is the Three of Wands. The Three of Wands is a card that means commerce, so we love that. A good money card in our money column. In addition to commerce, this is a card of expansion too. So there's a good chance that either your workload will be expanding, your business will be expanding. You could be hiring new employees. Maybe your financial portfolio will be expanding. Expansion in a really positive way. So I like to see the Three of Wands. We always like to see our money grow, not get smaller, right? And then this is also a card of travel. So some of you could be doing some travel for work. The next card we have is the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is a card of keeping and maintaining boundaries. It's also, excuse me, not the Nine of Wands. This is the Ten of Wands here. With the Ten of Wands, this is a card of stress, exhaustion, having too many burdens. If you look at this person, they are like carrying all these wands. They're hunched over into these wands and they're like crying into these wands because they're overwhelmed with all that they have going on. So what I was saying about keeping and maintaining boundaries, this is a good time to know when to say no. If you have too much going on or you need help or something, do definitely make sure that you're not taking on more than you can handle going into the end of this month. We are going to have expansion, but don't overextend, don't overdo it for yourself. Do know when to ask for help and also know when to say no. Then at the bottom here, we have the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is a card of needing to rest, retreat, recover, renew. Again, this is busy. You have two very busy cards here back to back. And when we get busy like this, there's this possibility to burn out. And both of these cards are kind of warning of burnout. It's not saying it's going to happen, but that's the nice thing is when you come to these readings, when you listen to these type of readings, you can get these warnings of things to watch out for. So knowing when to say no, making sure you're not overextending yourself, making sure you're taking time to rest, renew, recover so you don't get to this burnout point. So I do anticipate work or finances being very busy for you, Scorpio, going into the end of June. It's not a bad thing, it's just busy. So be aware and be thoughtful there. The first clarifying card we have for this column is the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands is very free-spirited and very creative. When I see this card, this is a card of freedom. And I always like thinking financial freedom, Scorpio. So love to see that. Again, Three of Wands is an expansion of your business, of your portfolio, of your money, expansion of your workload, all really positive things. But with that comes that freedom of having additional money. For some of you, this could be freedom to travel, like you've been wanting to travel for business and you haven't had the opportunity to. The Knight of Wands is also a good reminder to stay very creative. Creativity is key for whatever type of work you're doing right now. And that sounds kind of weird. Like some of you may be like, oh, my work's really not that creative. But you do want to make sure you're taking a creative approach with what you're doing, Scorpio. The next card that we have is the Three of Swords. The Three of Swords is a card of heartbreak. But oftentimes when we see this is a card of like needing to heal. And you don't necessarily need to heal your finances or heal like your money or anything like that, Scorpio. But this is that reminder of that you need to take time for yourself. Otherwise, you are going to get burned out. So we do have that pretty clear message with these four cards at the bottom is making sure you're not getting burnt out. Set those good boundaries. Don't overextend yourself. Know when to say no kind of thing. The Five of Cups is the next card that we have. This is a card of kind of low feelings. This is loss, regret, grief. Those are not typically feelings we associate towards money or towards our job. But again, this is like making sure you are not getting burnt out. If you get burnt out, you're going to get into this kind of low funk. So really the message with these, again, these bottom four cards is just don't get tired these last 4 months. You could have even been really busy the first half of June. So this could be almost like riding the wave of what's happened this month already. So just be cautious there. It looks like it's going to be busy, but don't let yourself get burnt out. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. So think family, friends, children, relationships, anything that you associate with love, Scorpio. Let's see here. Our first card is the High Priestess. The High Priestess is a card of trusting your intuition, trusting your gut. The High Priestess is like a very spiritual card. Oftentimes when I see this card, it means the person that I'm reading for is very spiritual and very intuitive, like almost psychic, you could say. So definitely make sure you're listening to yourself. Like if something doesn't feel right or something does feel right, know that you can navigate yourself through any scenario as it relates to love, Scorpio. It does like seem that some of you are going to have some new relationships. So again, follow your gut through that new relationship or that new chapter. We have the Nine of Wands, which is a card of being very persistent, but also keeping and maintaining boundaries. If you look at this card, there's not necessarily a wall that was created, but there's kind of like a fence where you can filter in things. So again, that's that knowing when to say no, knowing when to say yes. But be very clear about your boundaries in all of your relationships, friend, family, love. Then at the bottom, we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is a card of leaving a legacy. It's retirement or inheritance possibly as well. Some of you could be retiring or somebody in your family is retiring, so that's very exciting. Congratulations for those of you that are. When I see a money card like this, though, typically in the love column, this indicates some sort of new money in the family too. So this could be your spouse or parents or whoever you're closely connected with getting a new job. Also at the Ten of Pentacles, that's about leaving a legacy. And when we talk about leaving a legacy, it's long term. So I think for those of you in a relationship or entering into a new relationship, this could be a good indicator with the Ten of Pentacles, the length and health of this relationship. But moving on, let's clarify this column and see what other messages we get here. The first clarifier we have is the Lover's card. This is a card of partnership, deep love, strength together. There's really not a better love card to have in our love column, so I always like to see that. And again, this is whether you're in a relationship, entering into that new relationship, do make sure you're using your High Priestess energy, trusting your gut, trusting your intuition. But new relationship, existing relationship, we love to see the Lover's card. The next card that we have is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords is about going through a necessary transition. You see these people, their heads are kind of hanging low. There's swords stuck into the boat. But the nice thing about this is the boat is moving in a forward, positive direction. So again, this transition that you're in is something that's beneficial. It's meant to happen. It's taking you to a good place. So setting these boundaries is by far one of the best things that you can do for yourself, is what this is saying here. It's going to be a really, really healthy move, and it's something you've needed to do for a while. So again, set those clear boundaries. Also with the Six of Swords, there could be moving or relocating. So some of you could be physically moving or relocating. Then at the bottom here, we have the Devil card. This is a card of greed, envy, materialism, obsession. This is a good reminder to not be like over-analyzing things or overthinking something. Tying back to that High Priestess is like, trust your intuition. It's guiding you to the right place. It's this knowledge that you have. So do like just kind of trust yourself to move into this really new, wonderful relationship, or the next relationship or next steps in your relationship. There's no need to overanalyze or overthink anything that's happening right now, Scorpio. Now let's take a look at our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guides. We have the card Preservation. I like preservation. This is about preserving your energy, your time, your words. It does look like you're going to be busy, so preservation is an important thing for you this month. Let's see what we've got going on. The first card we have is the Eight of Wands. This is a card of speed, action, quick change, news coming in. More than anything, I think this is just kind of a reminder of how busy these next few weeks are going to be. But you could be finding out some news as well. This is like news coming in with the Eight of Wands. The next card that we have is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is a card that has a lot of different meanings. But two are jumping out that I want to share. So one thing is worry. Some of you seem to be worried about something. You want to make sure that you preserve your thoughts and energy, so try not to overthink or over worry about anything that's going on. This can also be a card of isolation. So this again is maybe you possibly kind of taking time for yourself to make sure you're not getting burnt out, which is a good thing. Then at the bottom we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles is a card of giving or receiving help. It's very generous. Again, do make sure that you're preserving yourself. So don't ask for too much or give too little there, Scorpio. Let's clarify though and see what messages we've got. So we do have the Five of Pentacles coming back up, the worry. I think you're just kind of stressed with everything that's going on this month. But again, we want to preserve our thoughts and energy. So do make sure that you're not worried about something too much. I see there's just like things swirling. There's so much going on. The next card is the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords is like, has a lot of different meanings, but if you take a look at this card, you see this person is picking up their swords and running away. And this sounds kind of silly, Scorpio, but you almost need to like run away from your thoughts and not get caught up in them or get caught in this cycle of overthinking this month. And then we have the Two of Swords at the bottom. The Two of Swords is a card of feeling like you have to compromise. And if you're giving too little, or excuse me, giving too much or taking too little, you are going to have this feeling of compromise. So again, look for this perfect balance of generosity with the Six of Pentacles. Now at this time, Scorpio, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use the Gypsy Witch Fortune Telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But for question number 1, we have the Jack of Diamonds. This is number 14 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the Two of Spades. This is number 34 card. That's a yes. And question number 3 is the Four of Diamonds. This is number 27 card. That's going to be a yes as well. So yes, yes, yes for you, Scorpio. If you watched your video earlier this month, I did pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of June. Your crystal this month is turquoise, which is good for self-responsibility and helps you forge your own destiny. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Oops. You're going to get 2 apparently this month, Scorpio. The first one says, surround yourself with people who make you hungry for life, touch your heart, and nourish your soul. The second note says, you will begin to heal when you let go of past hurts, forgive those who have wronged you, and learn to forgive yourself for your mistakes. Thank you so much, Scorpio, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post future videos. If you feel inclined, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you would like to make a donation. Thank you again, Scorpio, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your June.